Japan has a very long business history in India. It's a business history which actually goes back to the 19th century. And interestingly, Indian businesses also have that long history in Japan. There have been Indian businesses which went in there a few years after the Meiji Restoration. So we've had about 150 years at least of strong, sustained business. Even if, I'm discounting the earlier era of trade, which of course goes back many more centuries. But the point to recognize is, while there was a footprint, sometimes actually not a small footprint, it was never a deep footprint. You had many Japanese companies here, but they didn't scale up in the way in which they have done in other geographies. And there's a very instructive comparison if you look at Japanese businesses in China, but forget China for a moment, look at Japanese businesses in ASEAN. If one was to look at Thailand or Indonesia or Singapore, I would argue that Japanese business has actually made far more serious investments there than they have done in India. There were a number of reasons for this. I think partly the enabling environment did not meet Japanese expectations, which essentially meant that the Indian system didn't particularly make an effort to get Japanese business in. There were infrastructure issues. There were, in some respects, cultural issues. And to some degree, Japanese businesses came up against domestic Indian business, competing in the same sector. So the combination of all of this actually has made what has been a history of 150 years a relatively limited economic player, and that's partly in evidence in the trade figures, Raj, that you shared with us.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.